morning, all you minties, and welcome back to another episode of Reels Talk with your host, the amazing Amanda, and my lovely co-host, the Uncanny Omar.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining us for your spoiler-filled review
You should probably just put it up
of Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. Well, it is on the title of the episode, so I assume
just
people coming in here would be like, oh, they're going to be talking about this with spoilers.
Yes.
All right. So we are going to be talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp. This is Ant-Man number 3 in the trilogy. Maybe there will be a quadrilogy of Ant-Man movies. I don't know. But this is the very first movie in the Phase 5.
Very first movie in Phase 5. And clearly the movie's intention is to set us up for what's to come, which is Avengers Kang Dynasty, and then maybe even Avengers Secret Wars down the line. So I guess we could do a quick recap for those who would like one, and then Omar will give our thoughts
and prayers
about the movie, which was directed by, again, Peyton Reed. This is his third outing. I think this is one of the few, besides Guardians, that they have a consistent director for the trilogy.
Yeah, you're right. Because every other
they switched directors.
Cap and Iron Man and Thor, they've all had different directors.
Yep, this one and Guardians, the only ones who had a consistent director for each movie, which is good, because at least you get to see that director fulfill their vision, right? So the premise of the movie is basically, obviously, we're after the blip. Scott's written a book, which I did actually buy off of Amazon, but it's not here yet.
What is wrong with you?
And he, he's loving life. He wants to take a break, but his daughter Cassie has other things in mind. She spent 5 years without her father, apparently got really smart in the meantime.
And bored.
And she wants to fight for the common good. So he has to get her out of jail because she was trying to help some homeless people that the cops were going after. And we learned that she has a very close relationship with Hope, a very close relationship with Hank, and Janet. And
sorry, I'm keeping an eye on the chat.
Unbeknownst to Scott, they've actually been working on something. And also unbeknownst to Janet, turns out. And that something is some kind of a quantum realm Hubble telescope of some kind. So they can get messages to and from the quantum realm, which Janet is not a fan of. And of course, no one knows why, because Janet has not opened up about her experience in the quantum realm when she was there for the last 30 years. So, of course, it goes completely awry and it breaks. And they all end up getting sucked into the quantum realm.
Which is where they found Janet. That's where she was living, and they got her out of the quantum realm. And she never talked about her time there because they just thought, oh, she was stuck there. And for some reason, they had makeup in the quantum realm, but we're not going to talk about that. So they brought her back, and now she's back. But the whole time before they get sucked into the quantum realm, she's like, wait, I forgot to tell you guys something really important. There's this demon down there that's trying to make it out and conquer all the timelines. Whoops, probably should have told you that. It's just your basic movie trope, right? Miscommunication.
Yes.
And if and we always make the joke, well, if those two characters had talked, movie would have been the end then. And yeah, we're never going to the quantum realm, never do that, ever. So that's where they get sucked into the quantum realm. So we get to see the quantum realm again in a more epic
proportion.
Sure, if you want to call it that. But go ahead, Amanda.
Yeah. And of course, as is with most movies, our main heroes are separated. So Janet, Hank, and Hope are in one part of the quantum realm, and Cassie and Scott find themselves in the other part of the quantum realm. And they both have, back and forth very quickly. We're getting both their storylines, what's going on while they're stuck in the quantum realm. Janet is clearly showing both Hope and Hank that she lived an entire life down there, that they had no idea she was a freedom fighter or a terrorist, depending on whoever you're talking to. She may have had relations with Krylar. I'm not really quite sure if that was ever. I'm assuming that's what they established. And she knows the language. She knows how to speak to the people. She knows what to do. And they're trying to find Scott and Hope. And of course, also stay out of the grasp of this mysterious man.
I was too. I looked at Melanie and I'm like, that's the broccoli people from fucking Dark Phoenix. I lost it. And then, of course, whatever. I don't know. Was Janet she was the age I think during that part with
I just think that they've used a
Kang.
nice filter on Michelle Pfeiffer, and she just is a beautiful woman.
She is a gorgeous lady.
She's just a gorgeous lady.
And I'm okay. That's a little bit.
I mean, even Michael Douglas, I thought is he looking better in this movie than he did in the last few movies?
He's looking as angry as he did in all the other Ant-Man movies.
Yes.
With that, what am I doing in this movie face? Surprised at how little Bill Murray was in it. I'm surprised they kept the character the same, considering everything that Bill Murray's going through in real life.
Yeah.
Really weird call on that, but whatever. Let's keep going. Yeah, they steal the ship. They go and like, hey, by the way, let me tell you a little bit about this guy named Kang.
So finally, she reveals that while she was stuck in the quantum realm, she helped a man who had crashed in the quantum realm, and that was Kang the Conqueror. We learned, but she just knows him as a nice man who wants to escape, and she has some Pym particles. He has his, what is that thing called? His motive, his core, the core of his machine that she needs to get kick-started all over again. So they work together to get it kick-started, but because it runs on his memories, she touches it, and now she can hear and see.
Yes,
I know.
She looks like she's in the same. It's green screen. We're not really there. She's not really physically here.
No, I'm not. Yes, I'm not. This is all green screen. This is amazing.
This is holographic.
Yeah.
State of the art.
Omar's really paying for it now.
I am.
Yes. So we come to find out she learns the memories that this is a man who has conquered planets.
Keep in mind, she learns it by touching the very
core.
Same thing that she's been fixing, except that now it is part of him because comic book science and
it's active now.
Widgets that work that way. Yes. So she's able to see not everything, but some things that he's done, and he's done apparently some horrible things. And he himself tells her that, he wants to conquer timelines and he wants to get revenge on the people that exiled him there. So yeah, she blows up his core, makes it big, and instead of like making it a prison for him, he kind of makes it his kingdom. Yeah, his empire for sure.
Yes. So of course he does what he does best, and then he goes through a rampage of conquering the quantum realm and all of its inhabitants while also trying to find Janet. But of course we know that she is able to escape because of the events of Ant-Man and the Wasp, the second movie in the trilogy. And
thank you for that.
Now she's back, and of course he's looking for her because he wants revenge, and also because he knows that she's one of the few who can probably help him fix the problem of his core, which has been blown up, if you will. But he also knows there's other people there. So he's also looking for Scott and Cassie, who are with some freedom fighters. One of them played by William Jackson Harper, who I know early on, the gentleman from The Good Place, we all thought was maybe going to make a surprise appearance.
Not we all. Not us.
Well, there was theories that he might be Mr. Fantastic. No, he's just a telepath named Quaz. And then we also get to meet Veb, the other awesome freedom fighter with no holes.
You think he was awesome? Okay.
Played by David Dastmalchian, who's also in Ant-Man, but as one of the.
But he's doing the voice in this.
He's just doing the voice in this case, yes. And then of course Jentora, played by Katie O'Brien,
who I thought was about. I think her and Kyler were the only two characters that were based on comic book characters.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them coming not from the quantum realm, but from like little tiny place realm. They appeared in the Hulk and Son of Hulk. What is that place called? It's Jarella's kingdom, where Hulk met Jarella, and it's tiny little people.
Yes.
I don't think it's a quantum realm. Can't remember.
Yeah. So Kang decides to send his armed dog to go retrieve Scott and Cassie, which is none other than MODOK. So we got our it's not Patton Oswalt. It was not a Patton Oswalt MODOK, which I'd gotten used to because of the Hulu show. It is, in fact, like everyone had predicted and theorized, Darren Cross, and reprising his role at, who was from the first movie. Of course, Cassie remembers him because she was a child when that happened, and Scott remembers him in a very strange CGI face reveal when he takes his mask
off. Jarella.
So of course,
his lady, the green lady. Love that Michelle really got to shine as Janet, even though most was through exposition. Yes.
Yes, most of it was exposition on her part. So anyway, so of course MODOK's able to capture MODOK and the rest of his crew are able to capture Scott and Cassie. They end up at the Citadel. They meet Kang for the first time, and of course Kang does a lot of his cryptic. Are you an Avenger? Have I killed you before? I've killed a lot of them. Are you the one with the hammer? All that fun stuff. And he says the funny line
which gives me
hope.
One big hope about this movie.
What was it?
Okay, I don't know. Well, maybe we can talk about it now, just so I don't forget. The fact that if he did kill a Hulk, maybe it was or a Thor, it was the Thor from Love and Thunder, and therefore that wasn't the Thor that Thor was not canon. So if that, then this movie is the most brilliant movie that has come out
it's fixed
in a long time. Like I would be
problems.
Okay with that. But I don't know. I may be alone there.
Yeah, but he threatens to kill Cassie if Scott doesn't help. Basically, steal.
Yeah. Go in there and shrink the core down. But before he's gonna have to go through some trials and tribulations because it's not as easy.
Which is basically a multiple version of himself because it shows you potential futures.
Yeah,
and which was a very fun moment. You get Baskin Robbins, Scott Lang as well, which is kind of cute.
He had a name tag of Jack.
Yes. Interesting. Well, that's a very common thing in fast food. You have a name tag of it. Anyways, okay. So at the same time, Janet and crew, they're on their way there, and they make it there at around the same time as he's in the core. So then Hope comes in, and she obviously has it way more together than he does. She kind of ignores her future selves, gets right to it, and because he's all about Cassie and helping his daughter and saving her life, he's able to find his way to the core. And even though he can't use his 2 pin particles to blow it back up or shrink it back down, when Hope shows up, they work together. They shrink it back down. But now we have the issue of everyone's in the same place. Of course, they can't win against Kang. And
he's too strong.
He's too strong. And he's able to take the core and kind of leave them all stranded. With what my daughter thought was the funniest thing is when Hank gets to see MODOK for the first time and he swears, and my daughter just laughed like it was the best thing in the entire world.
I think your daughter and my daughter had the best time.
They had the best time at this movie. My daughter really liked the dick jokes, and she's 7. I don't know. She didn't like getting all of the dopey dick jokes. She don't understand what that means. So anyway, of course we get to our final. He did steal Janet because, of course, Janet was the one who helped him before. So she can, of course, help him back again. So he steals Janet, takes her back to his palace, his citadel. The rest of them realize that the ants from the beginning of the movie, which I forgot to mention, he made the ants intelligent.
I think you're doing just as good as the script writers forgetting about a lot of things. You're doing fine.
He made the ants intelligent, and they also fell through in the quantum realm because they were in their little ant home. And they all created this whole civilization. They've apparently been there for millions of years at this point. And they helped them devise some stuff to go in and try to take back Janet and stop Kang. And while in the meantime, Cassie is inside working the system, manages to start using her powers because she also had a suit at this whole time as well, which we find out when she gets down there. And she's able to free Gentora. They end up interrupting Kang's brilliant speech to all of his followers and tell all the people to rise up. So then we get an uprising, and then we have this massive battle, and they're able to overtake Kang. And they open up a portal back to their house. But of course, Kang shows up at right there before Scott could get through. And then why they pitted poor Scott, who is by no means a boxer, against a man who's about to fight Creed in another movie.
Which goes to show you that if the Avengers had properly trained Scott Lang to fight, he would have been one of the biggest assets. No pun intended. He would have been amazing. There's no stopping.
Yeah, so we get the scene that we all saw in the trailer of him just getting the crap kicked out of him by Kang until Hope decides to go back.
Yeah, so we did see that part in the trailer where Kang and him are duking it out. And I'm really surprised they left that part in the trailer because we are looking at the last part of the movie where he's like, I don't have to win. We just both have to lose. Which I thought, oh my gosh, why did they keep that in the trailer? That's something that they usually don't do. But yes, at the very end, he gets defeated by ants, and then hope comes back for him. How Cassie knew that her dad was fine and beat Kang the Conqueror, and she can just open the portal up because Kang won't walk through the doors. We don't know. Then there's, hey, we beat Kang. He has his inner monologue
where he's like, we did beat Kang, right? Like, he's not going to come back. But it doesn't matter. It's fine.
Like, the whole time, I'm like, I don't understand this tone of the movie. By now, I wouldn't be surprised if the baby in the baby carriage is Kang's face, and that's where the movie ends. But no, he eats cake. So my wife was really confused. They go to a birthday party. It's not even Cassie's birthday. He's like, I know, but I miss so many birthdays. And it's really sweet. The tone is, or the message is there. We'll get to how it really played out, though. So my wife was confused. She's like, was something happening? Why did it just end? And I'm like, you see, Kang went back in time and changed the recipe of cake, and therefore that is his master plan. All cake now tastes like ass. So that's the end of the story.
Then we get 2 after credits.
We do get 2 after credits. The first one is
all the Kangs.
Yeah, okay.
And they're upset because someone else killed their Kang.
Okay, so the Kangs are all gathering around this Coliseum. I can't pull because YouTube, but anyway, the Kangs are all gathering around this Coliseum. So you get the idea. Okay, it's a council of Kangs. What are they doing? I gotta watch people fight. What's happening here? Some of them are yelling. There's lots of different accents, languages coming through, and then we get the main 3 with other accents. So if you've been reading comics, you know the whole history of Kang. It's still a convoluted history, but you get Immortus right there, Ramatut, and the Silver Centurion. I assume the Silver Centurion are not Iron Lad. I can't imagine that being Iron Lad. But they're talking about how the Exile one has gone away. They got to go and stop him.
Someone killed him. Yeah. They said he's been killed, or and so they're going after those people. Is that the idea?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So then we get another after credit with more Kang for your pleasure, if you will.
That's Jonathan Majors. There's never wrong.
What is this, Professor Timely?
Victor Timely.
Victor Timely. Yes. Right in your face about that. And this is the Owen Wilson and Loki going back and forth going, he doesn't seem like a bad guy.
Yeah, basically it's a little mini trailer for Loki season 2, one of the, we assume, 2 TV shows that are coming out this year.
I think that's it, right? That and Secret Invasion?
Yeah, because they're scaling back. And it looks like they're scaling back movies because they also pushed back the Marvels to November. So it looks like they are going to do some heavy scaling.
Okay.
So that's the movie. Let's talk about our thoughts on the movie. Let's talk about our reactions when we first walked out of the movie.
No. Before we do that, I want to stress something. Whenever people are in the chat, if you enjoy this movie, then that's great. All that matters. It's all about what you like, right? And if we liked it and you didn't, then tough titties at the kitty.
Yes, all those things.
I don't know what the hell that means, but sure. It's a matter of opinion, right? These are just our opinions. Okay. I walked out of first of all, I was watching the movie. And Ant-Man, before I even go into this, Ant-Man 1 and 2 were not my favorites. They're like, to me, they're not even middle of the road. Like, they're just somewhere down here. Sure, I may watch them again.
And I have a different
and that's okay, right?
Yeah, I just really liked the first Ant-Man a lot.
I thought Ant-Man 2 was the first time I saw Marvel slipping and saying, oh, they're playing it safe. They're actually borrowing the formula of the first movie, adding nothing unique to it, and playing the same jokes, even so much so that Michael Pena does the exact same joke in that one. So, no, we were not. No, we were not missing Michael Pena. I don't know if it would have made it worse or better. I don't know. So, going into this one, I was just like, okay, well, let's see what happens. It can't be worse than Love and Thunder, which was a big letdown for me anyway. So
for me as well.
As I'm watching this, I hear a few laughs. I laughed. I will be honest. I laughed twice, maybe 3 times.
I laughed a few times.
The holes when he's counting because I was counting at the same time. So how many holes do I have? Okay.
Do you have 7 holes?
That's 2, between me and
6. I have more than 7 holes.
Well, yeah, I hope so. I mean, right? Anyway, so I'm counting and he's counting and he's like, I make the same face and I'm like, that made me laugh.
Yes.
And a couple of other jokes, right? Like the whole Thor thing, I thought was like,
that was good.
It's like, oh yeah, people get us confused
all
a lot
the time
because of our physique, we look very similar. And Paul Rudd was being Paul Rudd, of course, and that's what you come to expect. But at one point, about a third way in the movie, I was thinking, oh man, this is really dragging, and they look like they're stuck in just two different settings. And I'm not sure. Something's just not clicking with me. So we keep going. And yeah, I had that same feeling the entire time. Like something is missing.
Yeah.
Jonathan Winters, by the way. Was that his name?
Majors.
Thank you. Winters, sorry. That guy, oh, dude, he kills it. For whatever little dialogue and bad writing that this movie had, he kills it.
He sells it.
Emotional and has this wonderful range. Don't know about his accent at the end as a Mortis yet. But you know what?
He only had a second to work on it. Maybe in the next movie
he was beefing up for Creed.
Or he'll do a Scarlet Witch and just disappears.
Maybe his accent will be gone once he comes back as Mortis. But seriously, he's the reason that he has big shoulders to carry this entire movie. I swear. All right. Now that's it. That's where I'll start. What about you? Like, as you're watching this, because you're a big MCU, you.
I have a tattoo of the Avengers. Yeah,
you gonna get one of Ant-Man?
No, I got it's the original.
Teardrop of the Wasp.
Tattoo they got. No, I came into this very excited because it was Phase 5. I was really looking forward to seeing where we were going. I do love Ant-Man. I love Paul Rudd.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited. And as the movie got started, and then as we started to proceed, my excitement started to shrink to the point of disappointment and then anger at how could this have happened. Because I did like the first two Ant-Man movies. I did like Ant-Man and the Wasp. I thought the Ghost story was very compelling as a villain. I liked Walter Goggins in there, and I liked Lawrence Fishburne as Giant Man. I thought there was a lot to be there. Why this movie was called Ant-Man and the Wasp, I don't understand, because there was no focus on him and Hope's relationship. It was on him and his daughter, unless we're saying that she's Wasp, which that also doesn't make sense. But they don't focus on the relationship to the end when she comes back for him to help him out. So that was disappointing to me. Like, what's the purpose? Just to keep continuity with that fact that we called it Ant-Man and the Wasp in the second one, and now they're a team. But it really was still Scott's movie and Janet's movie, frankly. I felt like seeing Janet on screen and even Michael Douglas, I honestly wished I just followed their storyline the whole way through. And this married couple who we realized spent 30 years apart, and both of them lived different lives, and watching them come together would have been a really compelling story, with Kang also in the mix, like dealing with it, to me anyway. I was disappointed by the end of it, frankly. I felt like there was little to no buildup for us jumping into the quantum realm. Not a fan of Janet waiting till like halfway through the movie.
we
debated
watching MILF Manor and reviewing season 1. I debated going to see, what the heck is that damn movie? Magic Mike 3.
Magic Mike was also playing
because it was right in the theater, and I'm like, I should have gone there.
Magic Mike's Last Dance, and all of us, our whole group, was like, maybe we should have went to see Magic Mike instead.
It was so Kang is my favorite Avengers villain, and I've been waiting for a Kang to show up on the big screen, because he could be as menacing and a little more convoluted, a lot more convoluted than Thanos, whatever. The freaking Kang we got at the end of Loki, the whimsical Kang, I was like, oh my gosh, please don't let this be Kang. So in this, I was really excited, especially when I saw him. Whenever I saw him in full costume, which
you didn't get one. No, you just
I'm not crazy. You ain't gotta call people out. But I was so excited when I saw him with the blue face, the purple outfit. He even had the cape, and he killed it. That is Kang in the way that I remember him sitting here on his chair. But it just my issue with this movie was the script and the plot. It was just relied a lot on jokes, a lot of these Marvel
convenient plot devices.
The Marvel jokes. I remember when you and I reviewed She-Hulk, and I said Madison, to me, is the personification or the embodiment of what I find wrong with Marvel movies, and that is that long-running gag joke that people have expected, the cringy humor that some people talk about. It's all over the place. And I didn't mind it at first. It was fresh. It was new when it started. But by the time we got to phase 2, it just kind of became repetitive, and you kind of expect it.
Mm-hmm.
Now I expect little characters to run around and make no sense and say stupid little things, like the guy with the holes. Like, so even that stuff I didn't really find funny.
Or Quaz with his telepathic abilities and how he just knows everything. That actually lied to him.
That reminded me of the whole Jean Grey meeting, Ultimate Jean Grey meeting, Ultimate Spider-Man. She's like, "Quit picturing me naked," and he's like, "Sorry," and she's like, "No, seriously, stop." He's like, "I'm sorry." He's like, and she's like, "No, really, are you done?" And he, "Yes, I'm no, I'm not."
Yeah.
Okay. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like you have these times to joke, and it seems like everything is a joke, including the whole idea of MODOK. But here, let me go here. The MODOK who shows up, right? So this MODOK looks a little bit different than the MODOK that we've known in the comic books, right? It's not a big giant face. So what they decided to do was throw in the
Darren's, or
the Yellow Jacket origin in there with the origin of MODOK, in a way, the
end up in the quantum realm,
which I like the fact that that's how they did, like, his big head. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, Kang needs this guy to restore him. Like, if this is a guy that has lived in multiple timelines and has conquered multiple timelines, plot holes aside, why does he need help? Why does he need Janet's help to fix his core? Why does he need MODOK at all? Why does he need Scott to go and find? I mean, yes, these are all MacGuffins, and you're trying to find these little
MacGuffin-heavy plot devices.
They're right, all your little plot devices. That's fine, but how many are you going to use before people go, that Kang guy's not really that smart or that powerful? He got taken down by a bunch of ants, not a god of thunder. He got taken down by ants. Not Ant-Man. And there were so many times that I was like, the whole show don't tell to me, especially when you have a badass villain, goes a long way. And you can't compare him to Thanos. So Thanos aside, you can't compare him to that character. So he's not going to be beating the crap out of people. But I really wanted him to be ruthless and evil. So when he tells Scott, if you don't do this, I'm going to kill your daughter, and you're going to see her die over and over again. What I wish they had done was actually killed her and then rewind time, because he has control. Because he has
that ability, yeah.
So instead of telling you, show me what he can do. That to me would have been a dark territory that the MCU hasn't really done, with the exception of like breaking Loki's neck. We've had characters die, but
biggest one, yeah.
But that would have been a holy crap moment for me. That is really cool.
Yeah.
So, and then you have this whole concept of the variants anyway. So what Kang are we going to be following next? So, what about you? Like, I talked a lot about.
Oh no, you're fine. No, and I agree with you on that. We spend so much time listening to other people telling us how evil Kang is that when he shows up, he's a great actor and he said his lines very well, but in terms of showing us that he's really that bad, this bad guy, he didn't seem any worse than any other Marvel villain that we've seen thus far. And I was expecting it to be way worse, given how Janet and these freedom fighters, everyone was talking about this guy like he was going to be very menacing. So I agree with you there. My big issue was the writing and just the setup of the whole scenario. Someone in the chat had earlier said they loved how it moved quickly, and I felt that it moved too quickly. I felt that we're supposed to, I know we've gotten the Cassie and Scott relationship in the first movie and the second movie, obviously a little bit here and there. So we know he loves his daughter. But now we're in this weird relationship where she's grown up, right? Mm-hmm. Without him for like 5 years. She's become her own woman or young. I don't even know how old she is at this point. It's hard to tell with the ages that these actors are.
Well, once you get to be a certain age, it's hard to tell how young people are.
Yeah. Anyway, and so they had to really gloss over the fact that they had to okay, we'll put her in jail. That'll show us that she's different she's just like Scott, but not the same like Scott. And we'll tell about what she's doing with the rest of them instead of showing any of that. Because we spent every second in the quantum realm, which is fine.
Yeah, we didn't get to see a lot of the outside world. We didn't get
to see of the outside world and what we were going through with all the whole family, except for like one scene, and we were immediately thrust in to the rest of the movie. And I felt like it did a disservice to me. It made me feel like the whole Scott, I just want to do it for Cassie. It felt almost disingenuous to me.
Then the way to fix that would have been an easy fix, and that is him dying at the end.
Exactly. Yeah.
If Kang had killed him, holy shit! Like that changes the game.
Oh yeah.
Here's a guy he killed the lead of the movie at the end of the lead's third movie. But I mean, that's just a heroic way that closes that arc of like, I love my daughter. She means everything to me. And they really try to do that with the whole core thing where he's like, I'm doing this for Cassie. I get it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just not there. It's just like, it's really missing because you don't have those. You're replacing beautiful moments you can have between father and daughter with "don't be a dick" jokes.
Oh, the "don't be a dick" joke. Which came out of nowhere, by the way.
No, I know.
It wasn't a running theme. Like, where was this?
Somebody brought up
where was this?
Okay, so Matt, this is Matt saying, I agree on the humor. Russo's mentioned that Feige wants a laugh every 2 minutes. I like more subtle humor and not cringy humor. Even that can be right. And Matt, let me tell you, I'm the same way. But hearing our kids laugh, I was like, well, maybe that's why they do it, right? Like, I don't get Jar Jar Binks, but I know like my friends' kids love Jar Jar Binks. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So there is a reason why they do it, and it's not necessarily the humor for us. But I wish that with movies like that, with this especially, this might be Paul Rudd's last movie. I don't know. It had taken a different turn, and showing that, you know, this is the ultimate sacrifice. This is how I show my daughter how much I love her, leaving the characters there. Kang staying behind in prison. I don't even know how. So, yeah, this movie suffered a lot from plot holes, which, those aside, the dialogue, my gosh, the editing. There's a scene where Kang is like walking Janet back. He's like, you're with me now, right? He has Janet.
Yes.
And then the exact, without missing a beat, doesn't fade to black. It cuts to the next scene. He's sitting on his chair and his guards are walking Janet up. I was like, why did you walk Janet into the room to explain your master plan? Who cut this? And there's a lot of scenes like that just didn't flow well. You feel...
Well, that's how I felt between the cuts between, like, once we got to the quantum realm and I felt like every 3 minutes we were cutting from a Janet, Hank, and Hope scene to a Scott and Cassie scene. And it was so often that it really took me out. I was like, why are we cutting so quickly to back and forth between each storyline? It's killing me. And that's because they didn't know where they needed the focus to be. I know I am. They didn't know where the focus needed to be in the story, and they needed to iron that out before they really got... I wish they almost would have kept all of them together and let us go through the journey of the quantum realm together instead of separating them and creating this. You could still have had MODOK in it as just his henchmen without having them being separated. They could have all... it just doesn't make sense to me. I guess they needed a reason to go visit Kryler. I don't know. Regardless,
this is a good question and a statement that I've seen a lot. Is it possible that Marvel movies peaked at Endgame? I mean, those two movies are years and multi-movie in the making, the first of its kind. I don't think so. I really do think it comes to the writing, because you can tell a story about this overall arc that's going to connect with everything, right? While still telling a compelling story.
It's possible.
But it's just, it feels like they're just playing it safe, that they know that the audience likes to laugh. They know they're up. They love these big
action sequences, like moments between characters. They like big moments between characters. They like,
dude,
they want to be able to cheer. They want to be able to laugh. And that's all they really want to focus on. And the rest of it doesn't matter, but it is starting to matter, I think, is what's happening.
The death of MODOK, who I don't even care for, I was so confused by that.
Yeah, is it funny? Was it not funny?
Right. What is it funny? Or because the music is playing in the background, and the music is whimsical music, right? But then he's giving this speech about, he's like, am I an Avenger? And then Scott and Hope look at each other going, which was funny, but this character's dying, puking. And I'm like, okay, I think it's supposed to be funny, but it just didn't land. No, the music wasn't whimsical. That was the problem.
Yes. Yeah, it was weird.
It was playing the sappy music.
But he's like choking and then saying, like, we were always best friends. And he's like,
how did he turn?
He always thought you was a brother. And I'm like, and he's like, yeah, okay. Like, we were brothers. Like, no.
Like, it's just such a weird turn, and like he turned from the moment that she's like, "Don't be a dick."
Yes.
Where did that even come from? Why did it take that? Like, and when he takes his mask off, I know that CG people work their asses off on these movies. I know that they're limited to the time that they can work on the movie. But my goodness, when he took that mask off, I was laughing for the wrong reasons.
Oh, it was
because it looks like
it was really hard for me to
like
concentrate.
Photoshop where you stretch, or one of those photo booths where you do the funny thing, or not even a good filter on your phone. It was just not.
It wasn't. I just was not a fan of that design at all. But I mean, it's funny because I will say, like when Omar said, "Who's these movies made for?" My daughter came home from school today and said she told all her friends that how funny Ant-Man was. So is it for us anymore?
Yeah.
These adults that have grown up with these comics and love this stuff, or is it for like but what does that say about the storytelling and the quality of the film? I don't know. She also likes some really crappy Netflix movies too.
Well, I mean, they're gonna take notice, right? They're gonna take notice when the seats aren't as full as they used to be in the movie theater. People aren't spending as much going to watch it a second time. Because there are movies, I mean, I remember how excited I was for the MCU. Not just for me, but for my friends that had never read comics. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to get so many people into comics. Now, when I look at movies like Ant-Man and Wasp, I know you liked it, and Ant-Man, Wasp, Quantumania, I'm like, kind of don't want to tell my friends this is based on a comic book. I kind of want to just tell them, yeah, now they're making up their own things. So, yeah, there were a lot of issues I had with this.
Me too.
And who's the young lady that played Cassie?
Catherine Newton. I know you were not a fan of her before.
I wasn't. I haven't seen Freaky Friday, but when you and I did Detective Pikachu,
you were not a fan.
That came out the wrong way. When you and I watched Detective Pikachu.
Also, when we did Detective Pikachu.
Whenever you and I watched Detective Pikachu and we reviewed
you were not a fan of her.
I was not a fan of that little girl's acting. And I haven't seen Freaky Friday, so she might have gotten better, but she also, the way she delivers.
Freaky Friday? Are we talking? Is there a new one out?
Freaky. It's called Freaky. It's where she switches bodies with the serial killer. What's his
name?
Vince Vaughn.
Okay, with Vince Vaughn. Okay, I was thinking, like, am I missing a
I wasn't a fan of her acting. I mean, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm being too harsh, but just her deliveries and.
Yeah, she was fine. She's definitely not a breakout. She's not like Imani Vellani. Iman Vellani.
What the heck is Amali Manali?
Iman Vellani. Because she, to me, as far as Ms. Marvel, like a young Avenger, she was my breakout as a young Avenger. Like, I mean, she definitely
that little girl in Ms. Marvel's phenomenal.
Yeah, she's phenomenal, but she was no like her. She's okay as Cassie. But again, I think that comes down to the way the story was written, the way it was edited, and the way they rushed into everything. They never gave us time to really see who Cassie became. But she's Catherine. She could be.
No,
Kathy.
They told us
that
she builds
things. They told us that she's been hanging out with Hank.
Dude,
thank you.
I thought the same thing, Brian. And I'm like, this feels like an SNL skit because she's about to crack up, even when delivering emotional lines. Aha! I knew I wasn't alone. She's not a good actor.
Yeah, and we won't get time to really know her because we have to be told how she is. And I think we would have benefited from more showing than telling.
The data points gathered from Disney Plus get used to make movies more formulaic. Oh my gosh, that means Madison's going to be in the next freaking Avengers movie.
Yeah, just because of
they probably look at social media. Pause and repeat. Wait, but there's a lot of hate watchers too that pause these things to download to put on their videos, right?
They probably also look at social media analytics, and when things like Madison become memes. Now, so Dylan, you bring
James Gunn has to save the MCU and DC.
Yeah, and someone else brought up, everyone's disappointment will turn around with Guardians, and Omar said, "I hope that Guardians is good." I think a lot of it is.
Well, yeah, of course, because it's been
like
we're in phase 5.
Is anyone gonna be putting their hands where they shouldn't be on that movie? Is I think.
What does that mean?
Like, okay,
my hands were.
Yes, James
Gunn. I want to put
my
hands.
I'm assuming they're giving James Gunn whatever control they want.
Oh, you mean the editors are going to be
editors and the producers, and you need to be like, yeah.
All right. So MODOK does make me worry about other very comic-looking characters like Galactus translating the movies. The Celestials are great. Say what you will about Eternals. That last scene when the Celestials showed up.
Yeah.
Holy crap! That is awesome. What I imagine.
Yes.
Now, I don't know. I think there's no way they're going to change Galactus. Like, I think seeing things like this and reactions, I stayed away from, and I always do. I don't care about anybody else's opinions on the movie until I watch it. And why should you all too if you haven't watched it?
Yeah,
I hope you all have watched it already.
Yeah, formulate your own opinions and come see ours.
You know, I feel like afterwards though, when she was you were telling me that it got some bad reviews. Was it Rotten Tomatoes or critics?
Yeah, the critics
reviews
were like, I think right now it stands at 48%. It's if it's not the lowest at this point, I think Eternals was the lowest, but this may have beat it at this point.
Marcus McFeely and the Russo brothers.
Yeah,
are the Russo brothers still rumors to come back, or are they done?
They're doing their other stuff, but then they also
isn't starting off well with that poster release.
Yeah,
I haven't seen the poster.
I haven't seen the poster.
I saw Marvels, and Marvels got pushed back till November. But back to this. To put the focus back on this, he's gonna don't say that or a giant ant hill. Kang got beaten by ants. Kang.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to take that dude seriously? Now everybody else
be Kang the Conqueror.
And well, people have said maybe it's not that Kang that's going to be Kang Dynasty.
True.
Which is that what Loki's going to be about season 2? We're going to hunt down Kangs from different timelines and take them out one by one. I don't want to see that. That is so confusing to people too. Like,
well, to average viewers, yeah, that is really.
But even Loki should stand on his own merit, not hunting down Kang that's going to go hop over into another movie and be part of Nathaniel Richards' story that leads into Reed Richards and the forming of the Fantastic Four. Like, if you want to be smart about this, you can be. I did not like Loki, but I had high hopes for Loki when it had a Planet of the Apes ending. I can't believe I'm even using this not Planet of the Apes, the original, but the stupid Tim Burton one. But I kind of like that ending where they rewrite history.
Yes.
Oh, it's an ape instead of Abraham Lincoln sitting there. When Kang went back in time, it gave him the ability to change our timeline in different timelines.
Yes.
And that is the smart way you do it. You kind of shoehorn it into the background of stories. Yep. Not making it the big point of I'm Kang, I'm this bad guy. But in the background, there are things happening that you'll notice later on when the stories all come together. That's the kind of writing that we need. I don't know if it's there or not.
I don't know. So Classy Ulysses said the audience score is 85%, and you're right. It is 85%.
85% where?
On Rotten Tomatoes. So it's like 48%.
Oh, people really like it.
So this, I actually talked about this with Omar. I said I think our culture has gotten to the point where somehow we have pitted. There's been this dialogue where we're pitting critics, and we are by no means professional critics. We don't get screamings or anything like that. We're just fans.
I'm a professional critic. I have a channel.
But the professional critics that are, get the pre-screeners or go to the
that was Kevin Feige. He said he's taking us off the air. No, he wants my script for King Dynasty.
So I feel like there's been this dialogue now where whatever the critics say, the fans are like, no, they're wrong. We have to say the opposite. That happened with even when you look at the Thor.
Is that a subconscious thing though?
I feel like it's become a dialogue. Like when She-Hulk
That's why I don't like looking at those
now we didn't care for She-Hulk, but the critics gave it positive reviews, and then the audience no. But then Thor: Love and Thunder, actually that was pretty much the same level.
Okay. I
think so. I think it was across the board, but.
I did like that because you're used to seeing heroes on the screen. Spider-Man will return. To me, it all started with, of course, Bond, but I really like Kang will return too.
I do.
That got me.
Yes.
Rotten Tomatoes has somewhat ruined cinema. I kind of see that. If that opinion matters to you, then of course, audience scores for the win.
R.I.P. Siskel and Ebert.
Yes, they're both gone. They've been gone for a while now. Well, Kang had to take on Ant Fam. The rebels and thousands. Why didn't he kill the Why didn't he kill? Are these characters coming back? Why didn't he just wipe all of them out to show how horrible he is?
They're are they going to be? Yeah. Again, I don't know what the end game is, and of course, everything is supposed to set everything else up. So you're introduced these minor characters that may or may not be important. But then again,
they would call me. He's like, "You need to get off the air. Tell that woman to be quiet. Tell that woman."
But then again, we didn't get to see what's his name in this movie either, which we saw.
Michael Pena.
Yeah, in 2 movies already, but he's not in the 3rd one. So yeah, we're just setting up minor characters that just add some funny.
Hey, Amanda likes Dan Murrell. Who's Jeremy Jones?
I do know who Jeremy Jones is. I like both of those reviewers. Dan Murrell is Dan
That's her
Murrell
dude. That's her
is
dude.
my dude.
She's got a
Like, you
mad.
don't
She's got a mad
understand.
crush on that guy.
I love
She
Dan
would
Murrell.
wear his skin.
When he left Screen Junkies, I followed him.
I don't know what that means.
I religiously watch everything he
I don't know.
does. Now he leans
Even
like,
when he's taking a shower.
now, interestingly, like he reviewed this film and he was not a fan of a lot of it, but he did lean positive.
Where are we leaning? I'm not leaning positive.
We're not, but then when he did his box office charts that he does every week, he said he noticed that more reviews are leaning negative. So love Dan Murrell. Glad someone else watches
professional critic, you have to reach a certain goal, and
yeah,
man, you got to be on YouTube, put your face out there. People make fun of you, talk about your height, talk about your weight, talk about the hair on your face, talk about your hair, and you got to take all that and not delete any comments and have that thick skin. That's step one. Step two is actually getting, I guess, over 100,000 viewers and get that little plaque. Or I guess we'll get there one day.
Yeah. No, Oxby Pete, I've always thought that the 85% just means like it's an aggregate score of all the audience. So it's like if whether they gave it a 6 out of 10, an 8 out of 10, the aggregate score is an 85 or 8.5 out of 10. That's what I always thought it meant. Isn't that not what it is?
I don't watch that crap. I used to watch
it's
Cisco and
Rotten Tomatoes. That's I don't like. That's why I always assumed it's like they just take the aggregate score and that's what that percentage is.
Oh, okay.
Mad.
All right.
Omar, mad.
What the? I don't mad. All right. What positive things do you have to say about this movie? Let's start. We should have started with that.
I'm so happy. I know this is not a plug for Dan Murrell, but everyone should watch him as well.
Roberto Rodriguez really surprises me with his love of things like Dan Murrell and She-Hulk. It's just crazy that he loved it.
Well, he was not a fan of She-Hulk, though.
Yeah, he was a big fan of it.
Dan Murrell.
All right. So we should have started with the positive. All right, let's talk about the positive. We talked a lot about the negatives. Positives. Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan Majors. I mean,
phenomenal.
I want to see more of that man.
Like Dan Murrell?
Yeah, I can't wait till Creed 3 comes out. I'll tell you that much.
Or you're going to see a lot more skin in that movie.
Yeah, I will. No, I really love Jonathan Majors. He's a fantastic actor. I'm so happy that they gave him the role of Kang. I think that he's going to, we're going to see more of him, obviously. I know, like, I've seen a lot of theories, like, will we see Kang in, like, every movie in some aspect? I hope.
If they do it smart, they can still do it.
They can still do that. Yeah, that'd be cool. But I don't think every movie, because he's still... Jonathan Majors has other things to do too. I mean, he's a man. Like, he has to take time off.
Yeah, I mean, we got lots of things to do, like on YouTube channels.
Yes, So I think he was one of my positive points. Like I said, like
dude, when he cracked his helmet, that was straight up. He did that to Spider-Man. He did that to Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Cracked his freaking face. Oh, that was so good. Yeah, the foot stomp, dude.
Yeah, he did that good. Yeah,
he was solid, dude. When he's like freaking wrecking him with that arm, dude.
Dylan, I will say that I still like.
No, don't say no. We're gonna not yet. We're not gonna compare it to.
No, but I still would have watched Dark World over this, but Omar would.
Hell no, we're not gonna go that crazy. All right, what positive? Michelle Pfeiffer.
I did like Michelle Pfeiffer. Honestly, like I said, I would have been fine with if this whole story was just following Michelle and Michael, Hank and Janet.
See, Michelle, yes. Michael Douglas to me in all these movies just feels like Michael Douglas walked into a set and he's like, "What am I reading for again?" And he's so angry about it. They're like, "You're Ant-Man, and I can do what? I talk to ants. We're bringing the ants back."
But he does. But he's some.
Fun. Yeah, and it's Michael Douglas.
Yeah. So I enjoyed that, and Paul Rudd being Paul Rudd.
Roberto Rodriguez. I did not. Come on, man. Don't lie.
He did not. We have to give him his due. We can't lie about the man. Yeah. I mean, those are my positives of it. And
nothing else.
What were your positives? Do you have any?
Paul Rudd, Amanda?
I did.
That is America's sweetheart.
I do love
according
Paul
to
Rudd.
you.
He is America's sweetheart. And he was. I mean, he was a good. He did well in what he was given as far as showing emotion and having to be tough, and so I will give it to him that he did a good job. And Evangeline Lilly was great as the Wasp as usual, and like what little she had to do, which again it still boggles my mind why it's called Ant-Man and the Wasp, because it wasn't a focal point. They're still not they weren't a partnership, it was a family. I don't know, it's still a weird thing. I'm still having issues with the title. So there were some CGI that were well done, I thought. No, there was some CGI that was cool. Well done. The guy with the I liked The guy with no holes, I thought he was pretty cool. But probably because I like David.
I did laugh, and I hated. I remember catching myself laughing, and I'm like, "Don't laugh, don't laugh. This is stupid." When Beb, is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
Says, "I have a hole," and he starts sucking people in.
That was They're like, I was not expecting that.
And I'm like, "Don't laugh." By that point, I was so mad already. I'm like, "Don't laugh." Why are you laughing?
I love William Jackson Harper, so I was disappointed that he was only a telepath, but that's fine.
Oh my gosh, that guy! They all needed to be killed. So some CGI was good. Wish they had taken a lot more chances with the creation of this quantum realm. Like,
yes,
and there were just things that didn't make sense. So they have their own little quantum realm within the quantum realm because they're drinking little things, and
yeah. But what else did you have?
Well, okay, what else did I like?
You're asking me, like, well, what else? Michelle Pfeiffer and Jonathan Majors?
I said Michelle Pfeiffer and Jonathan Majors, and I reminded you of Paul Rudd. Thank you.
Oxmeat Pete wants to know how the
costume.
The lighting was.
Oh my God, Kang's the lighting. You remember that, don't you? The Kang's costume, amazing. You comic book. Completely comic book accurate. Loved it.
Yeah, it was great.
Even though he didn't have the blue face on the whole time, whatever.
It was cool. Like his eyes,
great.
Like, stopped.
He even had the cape on for a while. Oh my gosh, he looked so majestic. I loved it, man.
Now, Jonathan Majors is majestic.
Well, he is majestic. Yeah, sure, he is. Okay, people are asking, how do I feel about the end credit scenes?
Yeah.
I have mixed feelings. So let's go back to this one right here.
Nope.
Okay.
One more down.
Come on now. Give me a second here.
Nope.
Amanda, I need your help here. All right.
Okay.
So we're going back to this scene right here. This is Immortus, Ramatut, and the Silver Centurion, right?
And the rest of the dynasty of kings.
Silly accent. Outside of this is this giant coliseum, right?
Yeah.
Of like Kangs. And all these Kangs are like screaming. And I don't know why this Council of Kangs, like there's different alien Kangs, and I was looking hard. I need to. That's the one reason I would rewatch it, to look at that end scene again to see if I see Iron Lad or any other kind of variant of Kang. But
you won't pay for another ticket.
I'm not paying for another ticket. I'll wait for Disney Plus. But my question was like, what are they doing in this Coliseum besides gathering Kangs? Why are some of them screaming like are they like fighting? Like what's happening?
I don't know. I was very confused.
And if all these Kangs are the same Kang, right? They're all smart. Why are some of them acting a fool? Like some of them are just wrecking things, like beating their chest. I was really confused by that scene because when I think of a Council of Kangs, I see a bunch of sophisticated dudes just sitting around smoking cigars, drinking some brandy, going. So,
or more
menacing, how are we going to take over this time?
Like hooting and hollering.
Yeah, dude, it was like it was havoc. I was like
I imagine the scene of like all the apes and like Planet of the Apes. Like,
well, I think that's like it was a scene of like battles or something. I don't know
what were they doing.
I don't know. That's what I was asking.
And how do they know
Did I miss something?
How do they know he died?
Oh, I don't know.
Are they all connected? Can someone explain me how they're all connected?
Because they're all variants of the same person. Like if you're Amanda from Earth 785 died.
Yeah, but I don't remember Loki feeling him another.
Like, back to my point. If they're all smart and variants of this guy, why aren't they all just sitting around going, "All right, what are we going to do next, gentlemen?" Like
remember He Who Remains?
And I'm not
even not like that at all. He was like, "Hey."
No, he wasn't. But even he could sit down with some. Anyway, that's just.
He would have sat down with Brandon.
A league of distinguished gentlemen, if you will, of Kangs. Jonathan Majors. Instead of I don't know what I thought they were summoning something. I thought they were fighting in a coliseum for some reason. I was really confused by that one. Do I like the fact that there's a Council of Kangs? Of course I do.
But where's my Council of
Kangs? You know that's coming. What the hell are they meeting for? It's like the British Parliament. It's a lot of yelling.
Yes,
okay.
I do like watching.
Touche.
And soon to be, most of the American government has become the same way. Anyways, now I did, because I liked Loki season 1, so I was excited for the second end credit.
Okay.
Mainly because Loki and Mobius are two of my favorite people, so I was excited to see that because I am excited for Loki season 2.
All right. I know. I'm gonna watch it.
I know you will.
You're gonna make me to review it. What's going on with Immortus in that scene? Well, Immortus is in distraught. He's like, "Hey, this variant is gone bad and he's
Something.
dead. Something's going on with him.
He's
And he had a
dead.
really weird accent.
I don't know.
I don't
what's
know where
happening.
Mortis is from, but he didn't speak like everybody else. Just got here. Question. As Scott was strutting down the street, was that Miles Morales? The camera lingered for him a bit too long. Oh, the kid that was looking at him, I think he was just a fan that he met earlier, right?
I hope it's not, because my theory is that Miles Morales at this point is a teenager, and now that we know Spider-Man 4 has a script, or no, a screen, like they have the story written out, but now they have to write the script. But
my brother's a big fan of your drink, by the way. Go ahead. I'm sorry. What?
No, I was just saying that I don't think.
Just...
Yeah, I think that if Spider-Man 4 is to introduce Miles Morales, but I believe it will.
Really?
That he's older. Yeah, go ahead. Anyways.
Oh, I was just going to read his comment. Phase 4 was packed with way too much activism stuff. You even had it in spades in this one. Socialist ants. Part of the problem is that fans take these movies more seriously than Disney.
Well, I don't know how those two things connect.
Do I take it more seriously than Disney does? Probably, yeah. That's why I don't like Madison.
Yeah.
Do I, or MODOK? Because, yeah, but I take comics too seriously. Because life is too serious to be taken seriously.
But it's not, but okay, so here's my argument. It's not that I'm taking it seriously. It's that I just want a good film. There's a time and place for, if I want just meh entertainment, I'll watch some reality TV.
Like Milk Banner, which we almost reviewed. You all want to see that?
If you're going to spend time writing and scripting out, editing, like doing the whole 9 yards, I mean, yes, make some effort to make it a more cohesive story that really shows us and not just tells us what's going on with our characters. There's a way to do that. Good writers can do that in a movie.
And good writers have done that in the Marvel universe before.
Yes. I mean, show us, don't tell us. And I think we said that again with, I think we did that with Love and Thunder. I think there was a lot of telling and not showing.
No, Love and Thunder had a lot of issues.
Well, I mean, it had other stuff too.
No matter what they showed, it wouldn't have helped.
But yeah, so
after seeing Kang acting out the intergalactic war thing, going spoosh, I think I was like, meh, okay, yeah, it was. I don't know. I wanted a little more than what we got. Couldn't take Kang seriously after that. I still think that there's something there. Give Zack Snyder. I said restore the Snyderverse, but do it in the MCU.
No. There's a lot of things though. Yeah. No,
dude, my kid loves Bluey. We watched it, and I was like, why do people like Bluey? Comics have always been full of activism. It's historical Amanda, you're going to have to help me out.
Revisionism.
I got that one. I was talking about that one right there. What is that one?
Otherwise? You're fighting.
Off topic. Omar, did you end up getting Starman Companion Volume 2? And will there be a review? Do you want me to get it? Yeah, I'll get it, man. Yeah, I'll get it. No, I did not, but I'll get it if you want an overview. Okay, is there anything else left to add about this movie? Music. What'd you think of the music? Was it?
It didn't affect me.
It didn't affect you. Not even during MODOK's emotional death or funny death. Or whatever it was supposed to be.
I was too distracted by the dialogue. So I don't know. And not in a good way.
They got all these Rick and Morty writers on.
They do, right? What is this about?
But even Rick and Morty is smart about some of those. Well, I don't know. I haven't seen Rick and Morty's in season 2, so I don't know. It could have gone downhill too.
I only watched a handful of episodes that you guys showed me, so I don't know much about.
Forced you to watch them.
I was stuck in the cabin with you guys.
When you weren't stuck, you were there because you wanted to be.
I was there to be there. But
people going big are automatically slow for no reason. I kind of like that. Yeah. Okay. And it showed. Okay, I did like that. I like the fact that he got big.
Oh yeah.
And the idea that if he had been properly trained by Captain America or one of the Avengers, he could have done a lot more damage. Yeah. Does anyone know if Bill Murray survived? I don't think he did. I don't think Bill Murray survived. I don't think they even talked.
He made it off of there. He didn't do nothing happened to him.
All right, I'm gonna tell you something right now.
Yeah.
And you know this to be true, and so does everybody else that watched that. Had Bill Murray not been in that controversial accusations thing that's been going on,
but no one's really
they would have had an after credit with Bill Murray doing something funny, doing something Bill Murray like. You know that to be a.
Do you really think that it has to be about
100%?
Maybe.
No, 100%.
So you think the Loki thing was thrown in there because they didn't have it?
No, I'm thinking they would have had 3 after credits.
No, I'm thinking they would have had 2. Loki wouldn't have been one of them at all, and it would have been just a funny end credit with Bill Murray. That's how they usually do it.
Okay, so you agree with me or disagree with me? I'm having a hard time following you, and it could be the beer. Oh my God, you're just. All right, Marvel Comics takes things seriously by having Omar. Thank you for that. And man, serious business has happened since they approached Omar. Thank goodness. Oh, that was a compliment.
Right.
Thank you, buddy.
To Omar.
Omar, you haven't seen Incest Baby on Rick and Incest Baby. Dude, I didn't make it past season 2. Not that I didn't like it. It's just that I forgot about it. Yes, I think Bill Murray would have had some stuff cut. See?
Yeah.
Just because I think what's happened to him lately, what I found out through doing my show and you all were telling me.
Yeah, which is interesting.
All right. Literally just walked out of the theater.
Whoa, Tavon.
All right, Tavon, slow down.
Slow down. To go on.
Welcome back, Connor.
Yeah,
that
that's
was
right.
there.
That was there. That was cool.
Was it though?
I don't know.
They should have made him one of the elders, like the collector, right, or something like that. I think they would have.
Yes.
They would have done right. All right, Omar. Just wanted to say I recently found your channel. I enjoy your content. Subscribe this week and fun to see you doing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Amanda and I do. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, man.
I thought you were gonna go the other way with that, Omar. I just want to say that I love your channel.
But
Listening to you hate on this movie. We're done. Deuces. I'm out, man.
Yeah.
All right. What was the verdict? Amanda. Amazing Amanda. Come on now. Come on. Let's do it.
I have to give this a 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. 4.
Okay.
I think 4. I think 5 is too kind. I think 4's. It's just
I am
our
being too
opinions.
kind.
Our opinions.
I'm
so.
being too kind. Maybe I'm giving it for Jonathan Majors.
He was great. And
I was
he
disappointed.
had very little to do though. 2 out of. What did you all think? That's the most important
what
thing.
do you all think?
And if you
Steven
don't,
already got his thing out.
sorry, Steven's got his thing out. His ratings. And if you're watching this later, leave it in the comment section because we do love talking to people about these things. And just because we enjoyed something and you didn't, or you didn't like something and we did, doesn't mean we can't be friends.
Yes, Dylan, we will both be watching that. 65.
That's one of my top 10.
That
top
looks
10
exciting.
Wanted.
I love
movies.
Adam Driver. Even in his 1 minute, Super Bowl ad about Squarespace,
She's been
which
going on
is a
about that
great short film.
I didn't even know Squarespace was a thing.
Well, create a website, then you know. Does what Squarespace
have a YouTube
create
channel.
Itself? All right.
7. My dude
out of
loved
10.
it. That's a good rating. That's a good rating.
Laz said 7 out of 10 being nice.
Maybe we're in the minority.
5 holes out of 12.
Why'd you go there, Max?
Did Bill Murray get? Yeah, he did. I don't know. I don't remember this. It happened a long time ago, like when it came out. So I'll have to look back up. Dylan gave it a 5 out of 10.
He agrees with you. 7
holes.
7 holes, baby.
It was
It made me
good.
laugh.
Can't believe he said it.
Tavon, I'm
Tavon.
so sorry, buddy. But you know what? What matters is that you liked
That's
it.
all that matters.
What'd you give it, Tavon?
Yeah, we want to know you give it. Classy, you gave it a skip out of 10.
Didn't even care.
Riv gave it a 4.
Okay, Riv and I.
Kyle said, damn, not Bill. Love his work. Yes, I know. 7.5 out of 10.
Matt liked it. Okay.
6 out of 10 because just because of majors.
Yeah, he
that's
killed
what
it.
I
He
said.
killed it.
When Bill Murray out of Infinity.
I don't even know what that is, Oxby
It's
P.
an Infinity side. Wait, what?
Tavon, are you serious right now?
8. It was fun.
Tavon, we've been friends for like 4 years.
Omar,
and
cannot be friends with Tavon anymore.
You agree with Amanda more than you.
6 out of 10 lost 2 words from MODOK and lots of long expositions.
There was
it
a
wasn't
lot of
one.
expositions.
There was a lot of expositions.
But my dude Hunter, what Hunter give? I'd say 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
Wasn't terrible, but wasn't great either. But I will say I liked it more than Ant-Man and Wasp, and I liked it more than Thor.
Love and Thunder. Not Dark World. Nope.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
I'll watch Dark World all day long.
You and Oddfell. What is wrong with both of you?
World. I don't know why.
All right.
Loki, man.
Okay.
When he died. Okay, Hunter gave it a 9 out of 10.
My dude's Hunter. He's getting sick.
Kyle gave it a 10 out of 10.
What's happening? Are we in a very? Is this real life? What's happening?
It's not a Bill. It's not a Bill Cosby or Weinstein. It's more of like a.
Oh, I don't know.
He just acted inappropriately on set. I think is what it is. And and Robert, you're right. He's been a jerk on set for 40 plus years. Yes.
I mean, there's been other actors and actresses that have had problems with him. Man, I gave me and Riv gave it the lowest score. We gave it a 4. Was that too harsh?
Canada Dry said the more important point is that MCU since Phase 4 has been on the skids on the big screen Disney Plus, way more misses and wins. I think the reason this is
well, there's a lot too.
And I know it's probably partly them adding the content, and also Chapek at the time was all in on Disney Plus, and so they were really pushing it hard. So the best way to do that is to throw all these Marvel shows for us to go watch on it, because they assumed that only children are watching Disney Plus, especially when they didn't have the adult content on there. So let's get some of the kids' parents on there watching these Marvel shows. But I think Feige's smart in saying that he's going to push it back as far as the number of releases every year. That's a smart decision. They can really focus on quality, not quantity, and give us the stories we want and deserve.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you something right now, though. I just gave this movie a 4 out of 10. It reminded me of a comment I saw whenever we did She-Hulk 1. This guy was going off on me. He's like, how can you like this? It's because Marvel sends you free books. And I was like, no, man, I genuinely liked the first episode. Now, I didn't like the rest of the series, but he just kept going on about like how I have to apologize for Marvel. Like I have to like everything that they make because they'll stop sending me books. I was like, that's not true. There's things that I don't like. And I'm like, oh, this is why I don't review Omnis on my channel, because people just have such a strong opinion about these things that they'll be like, oh, you liked it because of this. Oh, you didn't like it because of this. I'm like, damn it, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. All that matters is your own opinion. All right.
Max, I love you. You're like, I liked it more than Home Alone 3.
I have not seen Home Alone 3. I've seen 2. 5 out of 10, which for a big budget Marvel movie is just wrong.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I wonder how much did it cost to make this? You usually have these things.
I don't have it off the top of my head right now, but I'm sure
Snap the movie, make it a disappear. Lionheart didn't like it.
Ant-Man 3 or Morbius? Oh, well, okay.
Ant-Man 3.
Ant-Man 3 over Morbius.
Guys,
Morbius was not even a movie.
Like, Ant-Man 3 is not bottom of the barrel. Bottom of the barrel is still, to me, like Ant-Man 2 and Ant-Man 2, Dark World's there. Sorry, man. Iron Man 2, I liked it more than that.
Yeah.
I remember hearing that Bill Murray told Lucy Liu, honey, you can't act on Charlie's Angels. Yeah. Look at my dude with the hot take. No, we'll go to that one for a second.
I gotta thank you for super chat, Jack Barry. We are all waiting on that Kang fanfic.
Oh yeah, Amanda's got you covered.
Love and Thunder was good. Ooh, that is a hot take.
That's a hot take.
I don't know if you've been watching.
That's a hot take. He watched it. By the way, the male human. I can't read this.
Wait.
I counted. Because
we have equal number of holes.
Are you talking about our nipples?
We have equal number.
No, we do not have equal number of holes.
Wait.
Man, hold on a second. It's okay. We were muted. Okay. I just wanted to make sure the Lord gave you the right pieces. Omar's been preaching Bendis hate for years, and Marvel never stopped sending him books. Thank you, Tavon. Ant-Man 3 got the Iron Man 3 treatment. See, I wasn't also a fan of Iron Man 3.
I was.
Are you good now? Omar just taught her anatomy lesson, apparently. Is it better than Doctor... No, I like Doctor Strange too.
Doctor Strange is better.
I thought Doctor Strange was Doctor cool, Strange, man.
They I didn't like what's his name's motivate.
They can read lips. Dude, 4 ripped Kangs out of 10 though. He was ripped, boy. Don't count the eye sockets. They are ocupado. They are.
But can you still get things in your eye?
Well, yeah. I mean, you can lose an eye and get things in there.
If you go around it, you can still.
Who are you hanging out with?
Jason Blumhouse? I don't know.
I think I am some pamphlets from the 6th grade.
I'm fine. I had 2 kids.
Okay, wait.
Drank too much beer.
2 years. Okay, now we're counting holes. But dude, I think that's one of my favorite reviews we've done. So what's the rest of the world thinking? Like, is everybody? Because I feel like I've graded it so low. I gave it a 4. Everybody.
Well, I just told you. Yeah. Okay, so if you go like on IMDb, that's a good. That's just an, a whole overall score.
Which Ant-Man movie is the best, Amanda? I would say the first one.
The first one, I would still agree with that. Yeah. It's still the best because, I think it was very solid in its execution. And I think they got to the point, they told the story they needed to tell, and you got introduced to some great characters. So yeah, that probably to me is the best one. All
right, she's looking up what the
so the Metascore is a 48, and that's 58 critics. On IMDb, it's a 6.6 out of 10.
Okay.
So we're about a little on the lower end, but we're in that review.
Okay.
Yes.
Can Marvel Studios please bring back Marcus and McFeely as executive producers in charge of storytelling and script I think a script supervisor to tie everything together would have really helped this movie out. Like this movie would have benefited from that. Brian is still counting holes. Nipples and belly button.
Stop.
Omar, what happened to the Avengers team of She-Hulk, Wasp, Kate Bishop, Carol, Jane Thor, Black Widow, and Scarlet Witch? The A-Force? Femforce. What were they called?
The A-Force?
A-Force, I think?
Was that supposed to happen in
the ladies.
MCU?
I remember it was a rumor for a while. That was discussed heavily in the fall of 2020. I'm guessing
they weren't going to do that. Yeah.
No, you remember how much hate they got for like that 10-second time where all the girls got together and they were like girl power and everybody lost their minds.
No.
I think the boys handled it better.
Girls can't do it. Oh yeah, they actually handled a lot.
They handled it a lot better. The voice was awesome. Mm-hmm. And you still haven't seen. How long are you gonna do that, Josh? We're gonna play this game of Primal. I'll watch Primal. Omar, best beer in Peru, Cristal. I'm a big fan of Cristal, mi hermano. And Ant-Man villain per se. Yeah, the first one for me, and a good villain. Great review and great time. Thank you so much,
You're
Amanda.
welcome.
You're welcome, Kyle. And don't forget to count your holes, everybody. Right? I thought pores. Brian is all worried about these things. Maybe he's miscounting. I'm just hoping for some major startups soon. We got the Secret Wars coming in a few years, and there's so much more characters introduced, plots. They're running out of time.
So that does make I wonder if
200 million?
Oh, God,
wow!
I'll be surprised.
Did they use that on MODOK's face?
If this movie makes 90 million opening weekend, I'm gonna honestly be surprised. But as far as the rest of the MCU and the future of the phases, I remember looking at some of the going back and looking at some of the early, images of the timelines, right? Where we had an Inhumans movie, we had a bunch of stuff that never took place, right? Mm-hmm. I think we're gonna start. We're gonna start. Yeah. We're going to start seeing some of that layout. I think that we may not, I don't know if we'll see things come out as quickly as they're saying. They're already pushing back certain movies. I think that Secret Wars may not be coming out when they predict it's coming out in 2026 time.
Yeah, if they're pushing out the Marvels.
Yeah.
Do you think Kang will replace Doom in Secret Wars? I think both of them will be in there. And I think by that point, they might even have a bigger threat if they go the Galactus route or the Beyonder route. I don't know. Let's be real here. They don't know what they're doing. It's just a load of content.
I know Kevin Feige hates the word content, but I mean, I'm hoping that that's what they've been doing, and now I think they've realized they can't do that anymore.
People are probably watching more so for Kang, so that is where the money could come at first.
Yeah.
Do you think Kang will replace? I read that. This movie is like when you accidentally send the wrong draft in as an assignment to your teacher. Egghead for Ant-Man and the Wasp for yes, everybody loves Egghead. Let's see here. Let's read a couple more comments. What's your favorite Marvel movie? Mine is Winter Soldier. I think to this day is still Avengers. For me.
He likes the original Avengers.
What about you? Infinity War is a close second, but the original Avengers to me was just magic.
I think it would be a close tie between Avengers.
The original
Avengers. And does Spider-Man No Way Home count?
Of course.
Because that movie was a beautiful movie. And
that was in Phase 4, right?
It was. That was one of the few gems, but again, it is a Sony half-produced but
it was a well-written script.
But Spider-Man, I know they really do. At least they gave Spider-Man a really good, At least they did him well. And when I got to see Andrew Garfield, and that was
that's almost cheating because
I don't care. I don't care if it was cheating. It was beautiful.
Well, I mean, it was 20 years in the making, right?
Oh, it was. It was perfect. They could not.
We talk about Avengers. Avengers being what 8 was it? No, 2008 to what?
2012.
So 4 years in the making, right? Mm-hmm. Which was unheard of, unprecedented at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But Spider-Man No Way Home was 20 years in the making. Almost unfair comparison, but. Yeah, I enjoy big bads, but no need every character fighting them. Like, does Daredevil need to punch Kang?
No, I hope we get some more street level stuff with Daredevil. I hope we're not so focused on the cosmic because there's a lot of great street level superheroes.
Ooh, that's not good. This movie did 40. But then I think the Ant-Man movies always have.
Yeah, they've never been.
They haven't performed as well as Thor, as well as Captain America.
That's why they've always. I've noticed because Ant-Man is not one of those more popular, I guess, superheroes. I don't know how you want to phrase it, but I've noticed they position the last two movies in very prime spots. Like Ant-Man and the Wasp came out right
Just
after.
you two.
It came out right after Infinity War. So everyone was like, I have to go see it. Where does it take place? Is it after the blip, before when it was the blip at the time, before the dust? So we didn't know where it fell. So a lot of people had that intrigue, right? This one comes at the beginning of Phase 5, introducing who we know because everyone saw the timelines from the Comic-Con this year, Kang. So everyone's like, okay, that's how they're getting people to watch these films. Without that, yeah, they still don't do as well as a Thor movie, a Iron Man movie, because it's just, yeah.
Oh, cracking open a new one. Oh, I didn't know how long she was going to talk, so I was just going to drink. No, that's not a bad thing. I enjoy you. I listen to everything you said. I agree.
Thanks.
Yeah, I got you. The problem is that it costs $200 million and needs Thor money.
Well, maybe they didn't spend so much time in the quantum realm. They wouldn't have needed $2 million.
I think all that money went to MODOK's face. Feige's recent confirmation of a slowdown of releases sounds great, and that comes with the Marvels push from July to November and only two Disney Plus shows: Secret Invasion and Loki season 2. I love that. Like in the past, I would have been disappointed. I'm like, no, I need something there every week. Like it was so exciting. It was,
from a content perspective, Omar gets creative.
It was like it was like going to a comic book shop every Wednesday and expecting new comics.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, it was every Wednesday or every Thursday or every Friday there was a new Disney Plus show, or you got to go to a movie on a Friday. Yes. It was just amazing. Like, holy crap. But then not everything was good.
Yeah.
And then actually there was a lot of bad things in Phase 4.
Yeah.
So slowing down isn't the worst idea. It sucks because, yes, the older you get, the more you're like, I want to see Doom on the big screen. Holy crap, that means I'm going to be me, not anybody else.
Yeah.
I'm going to be 50 when the X-Men appear on the big screen. And that just makes me feel old as shit, man. I get it, Omar, when Amanda gets going, she never stops. And that's a good thing, though. That's why she makes a wonderful host of this. And I'm just the co-host that drinks along and nods his head and agrees and disagrees with her. These movies keep bombing. They're going. But okay, that's the question I do have, though. What do they consider a bomb? Because as much as I did not like Thor, Love and Thunder, I think it still made the money that it needed to.
It did, but not what it.
But is it still considered one of those success, like by Marvel standards?
No.
November 2023.
Only Doctor Strange, June. And by a slim margin, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness was considered a success. It did.
Really?
It did. Yeah, it did better than Thor: Love and Thunder.
Wow.
In just the day for like week over week, right? It did better, but yeah, that would be the last one I think they would consider a success at this point as far as the box office return. Thor: Love and Thunder kind of came and went, and then it was not.
Yeah, well,
it didn't stay in the top 10 or top 5 for that very long, and yeah.
We will have Dune Part 2, Hunger Games prequel. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, it's about what's his name when he's young. Donald Sutherland's character.
I saw the first one. Was he in the first one?
No, he wasn't in the
Oh, it's that other kid, the actor. I can't remember.
Liam Hemsworth, the new Witcher?
No.
Oh.
Dude, remember when you texted me and I was like, that's such an odd choice for the new Witcher? Because I thought you were talking about Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, they're going for an older. But the beauty of that text message was that you never corrected me. I'm like, oh, they're going to go for an older Witcher. And you're like, I guess.
I don't think I read you the right way either.
I read Indie Dial. I read that Indie Dial Destiny. Oh, I'm sure that's a lot to do to the de-aging, right? They de-aged not just him, but the what's his name?
Mikkel.
Yeah.
Mads Mikkelsen. Yeah, they probably had it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be old man Omar by the time I go in to watch freaking X-Men. To my mind, there's no true fatigue or. Oh no, you're. All right, let's see. Hickman's Secret Wars is my favorite Marvel event. If they mess that up, I'll cry. Riv, as a man that loved Transformers growing up, my heart's already been broken on the big screen. Let me tell you something. You don't recover from that. I used to have a podcast many years ago. Oh yeah, that was yours, right? That was yours. Mine was Transformers by Michael Bay. Transformers 2, I saw how much it made opening weekend. and I gave a moment of silence to the death of the American cinema because I had no faith in it after that movie. I was like, how are people watching this? Who's watching this garbage? I'm sorry, man. I attacked
it's
Omar.
all good, Tamon. It's all fine.
You good with Tamon now?
Yeah.
Black Adam bombed because it didn't triple.
Well,
is that the expectations
these
days?
I guess.
I like Black Adam. I don't have an issue with it. They make a big profit, but what about Black Panther 2? That's another one.
Oh yeah.
But they thought Black Panther 2 would break $1 billion.
Yeah, but
it didn't get. Dang, that sucks. What's up next?
Magnat?
Yep.
Imagine out.
That's a picture of me wearing Jess's mask. That's amazing. When I was at his house. Amanda and Omar, has Marvel officially finalized its Phase 5? No.
No, I don't think so.
I got 4 movies.
Yeah. I don't think they finalized Phase 5 completely yet. I think we're still missing a few things. Yeah.
We still have a couple things there. TV shows, probably. I'm not one of those burnout. I would still love all these movies. And I think that's wonderful. I just hope they start slowing down and focus on quality.
Yeah, that's how I agree too.
And I think
want to see more
good
Marvel.
With that.
Yeah, I want to keep seeing Marvel movies. I don't want them to go away. I just want them to take their time. I'm okay with taking your time. I know I'm getting older. I'm 3 years from 40, but I'm okay with you taking more time.
You still. So that makes you what? 20. I'm bad at math, though.
Yeah, I know.
23? 24. Get a Phase 4. And I honestly, I think this is why they got Iger back. So Iger cut all those jobs. We talked about that on Wednesday, right? Like, not because he needed to, but because they were thinking ahead.
Long term,
and that's what happens. And this is why they hire CEOs like that. You unfortunately trim the fat. And a lot of people, 7,000 people lost their jobs. Even when movies make all their money back overseas, they call it a bomb. I still remember how much Serenity made. And I was a big Firefly fan, and it broke my heart. I think it was like $3 million opening weekend. They didn't even make their money back. They could do MCU Defenders with Daredevil, Echo, and Hawkeyes. I don't know. Jeremy Renner could come back to that. Well, he could come back as a mentor role, right? Like a stick
Poor
role.
Jeremy Renner. I know he's recovering, but yeah, that would be
Have them fight Mayor Fisk and his men. Oh, I'm so excited for that. I really hope they don't mess that up. All right, here we go. Year Make Edition. Love and Thunder's $761 million without China and Russia. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. That's a lot of money, Amanda. Are you sure that that's a bomb? Is that considered a bomb?
Well.
That's a lot of money, man. Okay, wait, look. Without China or Russia, technically outperformed Ragnarok.
It never released.
That's right.
Because remember,
I consider that a success, and I didn't like that movie.
That's true.
Deadline has it making 110 to 120 over the 4-day weekend. I don't know if that's good anymore. I think Tom Cruise has spoiled us into how much a movie could possibly make with Top Gun Maverick. With Disney Plus, these movies should have rewatchability. A bomb would mean it's not rewatchable.
That's true. That's good. Maybe that's what they can say. I mean, but we don't know what the Disney Plus metrics are because they don't really share them with us because it's a private thing. They don't have to if they don't want to. So only when they want to share it, they're going to do that. But still, 343 million domestic. If I was looking at domestic numbers alone, that's
I don't even know what to compare it to anymore.
Well,
and if you look at the numbers, half the audience has walked away since Endgame. Now, see, that makes me sad because I think there's still some good movies there. Now, does that mean that people like the actors, or is it that they don't like the style of writing these days? Disney no longer has secondary revenue for its movies. They go from theaters to Disney Plus with all the revenue streams. Yeah, that might be the problem. All right,
wait, they still go to iTunes. You could buy Black Panther right now on iTunes.
Yeah, but then how much longer do you have to wait before it goes on Disney Plus?
It's already on Disney Plus.
That's what I'm saying. If it goes on iTunes, how much longer? I mean, what's the point?
Yeah, and they're not the only ones suffering from that because Universal has the 45-day to streaming, and that's the problem. Because of the pandemic, the theaters didn't really win out, right? Because the theaters aren't winning. The box office or the only people winning are us, I guess, because we don't have to pay as much money if we don't want to. But
unless we're going to AMC. I don't
think but we're not going to AMC.
Well, we don't know that yet.
I'm not going to AMC to pay more money for my middle seats. If I wanted one, I'll sit on the aisle. I don't care. But I wonder if they will renegotiate and change the way these, in how long they're in theaters versus when they hit. I wonder if they will change those depending on how their revenue does.
That is a really good point.
Because they only did it because of the pandemic and coming out of the pandemic, right? It changed a lot of things. But now people are getting back to normal everyday activities in the last year and a half. And I wonder if they'll start making adjustments as well. Bob Chapek went all in on Disney Plus, and that was his mistake with the revenue. That's why they lost a lot of money. They
Smart
sent
lady.
a lot of things, not just Marvel, but Pixar too. Those Pixar movies, like Turning Red, even Luca, all those would have made money in the box office if they had put them in the box office. But he just released them, and then they put Strange Worlds, which made no money.
Well, and that was poorly marketed.
And that was
too.
poorly marketed, but even Lightyear made no money, and it was better marketed and had like big name stars, but it didn't do that well.
Who was in that one?
Chris Evans.
Oh, I thought it was Pratt.
Anyway,
Mario.
But they could have had other opportunities, but they had a bad leadership at the time. So maybe we'll see in the next few years it turn around now that Iger's back, until they find another CEO that has more of Iger's mindset and realize that people do want to go out to the theater as long as AMC is not charging them more for a middle seat. Sorry.
Oh, you went on a thing and
a tangent.
No, it wasn't a tangent. You were spitting facts. No, I have not announced the big thing. I was in a Beast Wars, and Silver Bolt was also my dude. Here we go again with emo Omar crying about his robots. Is that what you call me, dude? This is my Chris Gaines phase. Anybody know who Chris Gaines is or was? Nope. You?
Nope.
All right. Everybody know who Garth Brooks is? Garth
yes,
Brooks, the country singer. Okay.
Yeah.
Garth Brooks in 1996, 1997 released an album under the name Chris Gaines. He had like an emo haircut. He had like the soul patch, and he made you want to believe that he was a different person, and he was not.
Oh, you're right. I do remember that now.
Chris Gaines now? Okay.
Yes.
Obviously, we know the real big bad of this is Dr. Doom. How do you reckon they would segue from Kang?
Maybe that is Secret Wars. Maybe
obviously the start of that would be Fantastic Four, right?
Yes.
That is the idea of Kang or Doom, where he came from. It would have been cool to see him in after credits in Wakanda Forever, being behind the vibranium, but he might still have ties to the guy that was buying the thing from Ant-Man 2. That's what I was hoping this would answer.
What happened in that thing?
Let's see. Here's another. Was it really that good? Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I love that movie. AMC is currently hosting a short $5 repertory run of the 4K. 4K. Omar using music references from before I was. Riff. And just like that, you made me feel old as shit, buddy. Omar needs another 6-pack. No, I only had 3 beers. That's it. I'm doing good. Chris Gaines was so bad. All right, Panda, anything else you want to talk about before we wrap up tonight?
No, I think that is all that I wanted to talk about.
I was really sad to hear about Raquel Welch.
Yes.
Beautiful pace. She mainly raced in pace, but she can also rest in peace. Beautiful Bolivian woman. Oh my goodness.
I know you were trying to get that out.
I was trying to get that out. You were like, rest in peace.
You
calm down, Garth Brooks. I couldn't say Bolivia because you interrupted me. All right, let's go.
Yes, so that was our review of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and among other things that we talked about. The state of the world today, and
Chris Gaines music. Now everybody's Googling Chris Gaines. Who the hell's Chris Gaines?
Is he even on Spotify?
I don't
know. Anyways, so we'll be on next Wednesday, which not really sure.
We'll do it. Was it really that good or was it really that bad?
We want to do it. Was it really that good? Really that bad? But we will let you know before Wednesday, because we'll probably put up a poll for you guys on the YouTube to vote. So thank you guys so much for watching.
I forgot about that.
Don't forget to like and subscribe for more great Near Big Edition content. If you want to check us out on Patreon, you can support us for $1 a month or more. Also check us out on Spreadshop if you want some great Near Big Edition merchandise. And last but not least, if it's classy and cool, it must be near mint. Good journey. Good evening. We will see you all soon. Well, you'll see Omar tomorrow morning.
I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Afternoon, everybody. Evening, wherever you're living these days.
In the world.